What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Boys in Motion podcast.
And I'm Tyler. If you followed our Burrito League coverage at all from Toronto, you already know the name Rebeca Escobar. She won the women's division of Burrito League Toronto edition with over 1,100 segments. And she did not just win it, she locked in and kept going and is still going to this day.
And on top of that, she leads the Seek Discomfort Run Club in Toronto, connected to Yes Theory, and she capped off the Burrito League with a 24-hour fundraiser for Sistering, Toronto's only 24-hour drop-in for women and gender diverse people facing homelessness. So this conversation, it goes way beyond the segments.
100%. And the best runners are the ones who make you want to go for a run even after it's over. Rebeca, let's bring you in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, Rebeca, welcome to the pod. Can you set the stage for our listeners here and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're all about?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. My name's Rebeca Escobar, and I've been running for about a year and a half now. And it all pretty much started from like an unhinged thought. And yeah, what I'm all about is just like believing in yourself. Power of thought is everything. Be delusional, be unhinged, nothing's too crazy, and seek discomfort as well. Yeah.
Love it. And I would love to know, like, that's as I've gotten to know you, the one thing that I was very surprised about is how, relative to your PRs and the things you've done and how speedy you are, you really haven't been necessarily running that long. So I'd love to hear a little bit, what was that catalyst that got you into running in the first place?
Yeah, so pretty much, let me go back to 2024. I basically was working a corporate job and I just really lost touch with who I was as a person. I've always been someone who's loved like extreme sports. I played rugby, did rock climbing, and I just really lost my sense of purpose and I felt like I was just existing to make money. And I was making like very interesting decisions that were kind of coming from a place of like a lack of purpose. And so I had kind of made a series of decisions where I got into this point in my life where I was facing a lot of consequences. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know who that is. Like I was 180 pounds, almost 200. And I was like, holy crap, like I don't know what I'm doing. And I got sick and I was like bedridden for like a week. And during that week, like I really thought about my life and I was like, yeah, I'm not living the way I want to. And I just had this thought like, who do I want to be? Why am I so unhappy? And I really just took the time to get to know myself when I got sick back in August. Like I was so sick, I got like a fever. I was delirious and I was like hallucinating. And I really got the chance to, yeah, just reflect on who I am to that point. I was about like 24 years old. And I was like, I want to change my life. I want to like qualify for Boston. I want to run ultra marathons. I want to see how far I can go with endurance sports and like how far can like being delusional and being positive take me. Like that's pretty much how it went. Like how far can I go? So that's kind of the catalyst is I was so low. I was in a bad place. I was drinking like crazy. I was just acting out of a place of just pure self-hatred that I was like, I don't like the way I'm living. And so I was like, yeah, let me change my life and do some running. And now I'm here with burritos and just like doing random crap.
That's great to hear that you just turned it 180 and just never looked back since then. So after you got sick and you decided you wanted to change your life, and that's what we're all about, say crazy stuff and sometimes it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like power of thought is just everything. And like no idea is too crazy. And I think the best part isn't even like the rewards you get from it or the praise or the kudos. Like who cares about that? I care about like the validation you get from yourself, from knowing you can keep your own promises to yourself, and also the people that you meet along the way. Because I think when you're in that negative headspace, you're thinking the world's against me, like no one wants me to win. But when you actually put yourself out there and you try, you actually end up attracting people who are like, yeah, your idea is actually super normal in my world. Like, let's collaborate. Let's do something even more crazy. And I think that's been the fun part of the journey, is just like the community and the people that I've met that are like crazier than me. And it's like, yeah, no idea is too big. Like there's people who like they do this, and that's been like, yeah, the coolest part of this, to be honest.
I love that. We do have a lot of like people that are either very new to the sport that listen, or that are maybe thinking about wanting to get into the sport and think it's like scary of how do I start. And with kind of that being a little bit more recent with yourself, what would you say to those people that are maybe like scared to make that jump?
I would say, like, it sounds really weird, but like, congratulate yourself for every little thing you do. If you can, like, get up and just put your shoes on, you have to treat it like you won the Olympics. Like, everything you do, like, it matters. Like, if you can even step outside of the door and walk a kilometer, if you just build that consistency, like, if you tell yourself, you know what, I don't care if I fail, I'll just like walk 1 kilometer. I'll do maybe like one every day for a week, maybe I'll do two the next week. If you just kind of keep believing in yourself and you keep kind of giving yourself that like motivation and just kind of getting good at failing, then you'll go super far. Like when I first started out, I was trying to do like 3K every day, and I definitely like failed the first week. But I think practicing like not giving up and just being very nice to yourself, very positive, I think that's really what'll keep you going, and just knowing that like failure is normal, and like defining like what is failure exactly. Like if you don't run the whole thing, is that a failure? Or like just getting out the door is a success in my opinion. So that's kind of what I would tell new people, is that nothing's a failure. Just don't give up.
Yeah, it's very true. And actually, I remember way back, I guess, when I first started as well, like you said, sometimes getting out the door is the hardest thing, especially in like different weather conditions. And also, if you get out of a groove and going back into it again is super hard. And I think people underestimate that. And like you said, just congratulate yourself that you actually get those small things done.
Yeah, exactly. And like what beginners don't understand is like even if you're doing like high volume, honestly, like I'm doing 100-kilometer weeks, and I don't think the hardest part is the run. I think the hardest part is like I'm in bed at 5:55 and I know that alarm is going to go off at 6 and I'm dreading it. I don't want to get up. Like that's the hardest part, is like to actually be like, okay, 3, 2, 1, let's get out of bed and let's get out the door. That's probably the hardest part than actually doing the run. And I think telling yourself, like, hey, this is uncomfortable, this is technically not normal, I think that like eases the pain. And just remembering, like, yeah, like pain is not normal, and pain actually is a common part of life. Like, I don't know. I feel like just embracing that the journey's gonna suck, but it's also rewarding, it'll help, if that makes sense. But if any beginners listening, like, there's nothing to fear. Like, there's no such thing as failure. Failure is like a random concept, and if you are afraid, I think it's a good chance to like go sit and journal and really define like what are you afraid of, what is failure exactly, and is there any way you can prevent failure. Like you do have like free will, you do have the ability to plan ahead. So that's what I would tell beginners is, if you feel like you're going to fail, you can always plan ahead. Like what do you think can stop you from failing? So you have like autonomy, like you have the power to do whatever you want. So why not prepare? I don't know.
I think the mental game is super strong, and even like spending times on the burrito loop. I think like one of my things that really sticks in my mind is when you were pulling well ahead in the competition, and I was like, you can pull back a little bit or not be doing this crazy volume, but you were just like so intrinsically motivated to just keep pushing regardless of what the others, that I thought was like very cool. I was like, I know you said you don't do it for the kudos, but you get all the kudos for that, because I was like, you are mentally strong, which is very cool to see.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, thank you.
the other thing I would love to know, and because we get this question a lot, especially of people that are getting into running, of can you remember a specific moment when you were like, oh, I'm actually like getting good at this. Is starting to feel fun. This is starting to feel easy, enjoyable. Was there like one moment that you had those thoughts?
Probably, I think probably when I consistently ran almost every day for a month. Like when I was hitting my goals consistently, like the first month, I knew I've got something on lock. Like if you can commit to something for a month straight, Like I knew I had undone whatever was causing me a lot of problems. I knew that like what I had built in that month of just starting, I knew something kind of special was happening. And I knew like the next thing that I had to kind of worry about was never resting on my laurels. So just going back to what you were saying of like, I was well ahead in the women's, but I didn't care. Like it doesn't matter. I don't, like it's just never resting on your laurels, and you don't do it for the kudos, you do it for yourself. And just I don't know. That's kind of how I knew. I think after a month, I knew like I was doing something pretty cool. And like, yeah, I don't know. It was never about like the distance or the speed. I could just see like if I'm able to wake up and do what I said I was going to do, like that is a huge skill. So the PRs and everything were just like a result of it, and I'm very very thankful for it. And it's been, yeah, really cool journey to see like I'm hitting really cool paces. But I think what matters to me the most is just the consistency, staying humble, and just really like it's just the grind. Like I enjoy those shitty sessions on the hill or like sprint sessions. Like it's really about like just, yeah, the love of the game. I don't know.
The journey. And I think the consistency thing is a massive undertaking that a lot of people underestimate. And like I got back into that loop of, let's say, being into rest mode for the past couple months, and it's just like staying consistent is hard. And people go, like you said, your first week you say, oh, I'm going to do this every day, and you just go out there and try, but sometimes you don't succeed, and then you just have that hunger to do it even more the week after. Let's say full month of consistency and then and beyond is just great to start a block, and then obviously to continue too is great.
Yeah, exactly. Like it almost becomes like a new, like a game in itself. You're like, how detail oriented can I get about this? Like I'm in control of my sleep, my rat. Like it's crazy. I think, yeah, like that's just been the best part. But anyway, does that answer the question? I feel like I just talked a lot.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, and I think the consistency piece, I think it's like proof is in the pudding as far as like looking at how long you've been running and like your super like your 3:30 marathon, you're in the 21 5K, and then I saw like your half marathon and your 10K PR is in your marathon. So like those are some pretty crazy PRs considering the background, and you've only been running for a couple years.
Okay. I
That
want to say one thing. That marathon, the 3:30, that was reckless behavior. Like that was okay, if anyone looks at my Strava, do not do that because you will not achieve your goal time. I went in thinking and see like I say like be delusional, but be delusional with some planning ahead. I totally bonked and I did not run my own race. I like definitely I was thinking I could do a positive split where I could just go in really fast and then just hang on until the end. So yeah, I ended up PRing like pretty much every distance until the half marathon. And during like the actual marathon where I did a 3:30 time, I knew I was cooked. At 21K, I was seeing double. I was starving. My pace group had left me. I was like emotionally distraught, but I was still really happy with the time because I got to slow down and walk, and I still PR'd. But like definitely plan ahead. Don't be reckless. The marathon, like it'll humble you. It'll humble you. And it humbled me.
Big agree on that one. I think I'm on number 6 and still haven't executed one properly, so I'm here, I'm there with you.
It's a
yeah.
struggle. It's a
I
struggle.
feel like every runner they get like one good marathon out of five. So four will probably be a miss, or you're gonna do something wrong, and then maybe you'll have one super special race. Because I know I've last year I messed up like two marathons for sure, and then the other one was just so. So there's three misses. The other thing, and you chatted about it at the beginning of that, you're not about kudos, but you're really about the people you meet along the way. And I had the opportunity, I joined you at the Seek Discomfort Run Club here in Toronto. And I would love to hear a little bit more about how you got involved with that run club, how you became the leader of the run club in such a kind of a short time in the running space.
Yeah, so when I started my running journey, I knew like if I did it alone, I probably wouldn't go as far as I have right now. So I really spent time like not just training on my own and motivating myself, but I knew like there's power in people and community, and the people that surround you, they really influence you. So I was like, I want to be in spaces where, doing Ironmans and doing these runs, it's like normal. So I visited a ton of run clubs in the city, and I just had like such good enthusiasm to connect with people. And I ended up meeting one of my good friends, Holly Duncan, and she's part of the Yes Toronto community. And she got the opportunity to lead Seek Discomfort back in 2025. And this was like back in August. But really shortly after, she decided to move to Ireland. And so she approached me in like around September, and she's like, Rebecca, I think you would be great for this opportunity. Like, do you want to take it? And I was like, but I'm not a leader. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've been only doing this for a year. I don't know if I can lead people. But then the other part of me was like, how often do these opportunities come around? I was like, you know what? If something scares me and it excites me, I think that's a sign like there's something there. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. And yeah, I've been working with Kabir, the Seek Discomfort ambassador. And I've also been working with my co lead, Gabe. And we've been trying to plan some like cool events with sauna cold plunges. So there's more coming up with that very soon. We're trying to grow the club and just really make it an inclusive space for people who have big, crazy dreams, who do these adventurous things. And, word of mouth is so powerful that, like, yeah, I just really want it to be a space where people just connect and tell each other about their next pilgrimage or something and just really, yeah, vibe.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Not knowing much about, let's call it, the run scene in Toronto, what does it what does a typical week look like for your run club? You guys host like monthly events, weekly runs, or more so, like you said, some auxiliary, let's call it, events like cold plunges, saunas, stuff like that?
Yeah, so we run every first and third Saturday of the month. And so lately it's mostly been just a typical run. So it's really geared towards beginners. We run at like around a 7 minute to 6:30 pace. And we have two pace groups. We have one for 5 kilometers and one for 2.5K. So we usually run like around the Martin Goodman Trail and Ontario Place and loop back to Stacked Market and finish with coffee. But we have had some cool events. We had one back in, I think it was January, and it was with Recovery Wellness. And so a group of us just went into a bunch of cold plunges and saunas. And I feel like it's a really good way to connect with people, just like shared suffering in the cold plunges. I don't know, it just makes you bond somehow. And there's probably going to be some more collaborations with other new saunas that are opening up. And we're trying to make it as, exciting as possible to join.
Love it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the sauna session. I know you said that's going to be happening for the next, I believe, on March 7th. So that should be fun.
Yep.
Would love to know, like, what you said that this was like a big kind of scary thing and that you were like a little hesitant to jump in. Since you've taken the plunge, is there things that you've learned about leadership, community building from leading this run club?
Yeah, I definitely think energy's everything. And if you're distracted and you forget to advertise, it shows in the attendance. So I'm personally learning like, okay, just because I have my own running schedule and 9 to 5, like I do need to take ownership over this. And, you know, people need reminders. So I've been learning like, okay, I need to like really spread the word more. And there's nothing wrong with advertising, and it's never, you don't have to be shy about like wanting more opportunities, because I know sometimes you can feel like, oh, I'm being too much, but it's like, no, you need to like put yourself out there more, and then more people will join. So that's what I've kind of been learning, that like it's not crazy to like go out there and put yourself out there, and to want more collaborations. It's actually what keeps the ecosystem kind of going. So that's what I've been personally learning.
Yeah, and I guess like another thing is, what do you have to lose, right? If someone says no, you just keep going and you do your own thing and you keep building community elsewhere, right? They're just not part of the movement, and I guess at the end of the day, it's their loss.
Exactly.
Do you have any like big either goal, like I from the conversation you have lots of running specific goals and things you want, but do you have any kind of big or like more long-term things you're looking at for the run club and building it, or anything specific you're trying to target?
I would say probably just more collaborations. Yeah, just more collaborations, just to make it fun, make it inclusive. Really, it's oriented towards beginners. So really, I if I could like have a magic wand, like I would want like a beginner to see like, you know, you can run and it's like a good outlet. It's so fun to just get up at 9, do a run, and then you get home and you feel like, oh, I got to like express myself at that club. Like now I feel motivated to do all these other things I wanted to do with my day. Like that's how I felt at other run clubs where I'm like just dragging my feet out of the door. I'm like, why am I going to this? And then I leave like, oh, actually, like this kind of inspired me to like do this during the week, or, you know, I feel motivated to finally pick up that side project. So that's really what, I don't know, that's kind of one of the goals, is just to make people feel included, increase attendance, and then secure more collaborations where, I don't know, people feel like they're getting an experience they wouldn't elsewhere.
That makes sense. And I think, like you said, just people being together and having that community aspect to it obviously helps everybody else go there, right? Like I always joke around, if you get ready for a group run with a lot of friends, there's always that doubt, hey, do you really want to go? But because you're going with others, you're going to actually go and have fun with everybody else. And it makes you feel that much more productive and that much more included within that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that feeling of wanting to belong. I think that's like, I think really what a lot of people want, like a sense of connection. And it's very, very exhausting being in like Toronto. So having a space to get away from the like grind all the time and just to be yourself, I think that's so important. And that's what really I'm trying to build, because I don't know, that's what I felt in other spaces where I'm like, whoa, where else can I meet like an Ironman athlete? Where else can I, like, you don't find these people in real life. Like it's very uncommon. So to have like a space where you feel like, oh, I can share ideas and I don't know, just do something cool. I feel like that's
And it feels like a pause from the hectic real world, let's call it. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
One thing I'm curious about, Seek Discomfort Run Club specifically, like I've seen the Yes Theory videos, like I love energy and like I love that they're always traveling around meeting new people. Is any part of the Run Club goal, because I know they're in many cities across at least Canada and the US, is it a goal of like you're traveling to a new place? Of, oh, I know like this Seek Discomfort Run Club is there, so I can join it. Of, and have you had that experience of anyone that like has joined your run club because of that?
Not yet, but yes, that actually is really in line with what they're trying to accomplish. So, yeah, if you visit like a big major city like New York City, you can go to a local Seek Discomfort, like I guess, chapter, and you can say, hey, like I know Rebecca, and you can kind of feel included in this community. And actually, it's so funny. I think Eric is an ambassador in LA, and he actually competed in the Burrito League. So we were like DMing, and I was like, yo, you're killing it. He's like, you're killing it. So there's like some global aspect crossover with like Seek and with Burrito League. So it's really cool to see like, I don't know, crossovers and international stuff.
Yeah, that's wild. You mentioned it, so I think we'll go there just a little bit. But there's a specific part that I really want to hear your story. But just to give some quick stats about the Burrito Queen of Toronto, Rebecca did do 1,103 segments around the Burrito Toronto Loop, so she had quite the January. But what I personally find even more impressive is that final day, the 24 hours and the decision for you where you were like, I want to do it for something, I want to do it for something more than just myself. And you decided to fundraise for the Sistering 24/7 drop-in shelter. So I'd love to hear like what sparked you making that decision and putting that all together.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah. So, okay, context. So basically, this has to be some kind of mental illness or some kind of form of, I don't know, there's something wrong with me, but in a good way. There's worse things I could be doing in society than running like a lot, okay? So I decided to run Monday, I think it was like January, I don't know, 12th. It was the big Toronto snowstorm. So like roads were shitty, weather was really bad. It was like I think -20. And I was like, yeah, like let's do this. Let's go running at like 7 p.m. and just do like a bunch of laps. And so I was aiming for 10K, and oh my gosh, I literally couldn't stand it. Like I couldn't even last 40 minutes. I have a video of myself and my face was swollen because I was like, let me vlog this. Let me show the viewers like what it takes to be the burrito queen and like just like suffer in the cold. And could barely talk. And I went inside Impact Kitchen, and the cashier was like, "Why are you doing this? Like, what's wrong with you?" And then I was like, "Wait, why am I doing this?" Like, I was so far ahead in the lead. It just felt very like bizarre. Like, I'm literally putting myself through torture. I'm like, and I also was like, how are the homeless surviving this? It actually blew my mind. Like, I'm choosing to go do like 5 kilometers, and I chose to stop there. I couldn't even commit and finish the 10K. I was like, how are the homeless actually surviving like this? This is actually nuts. And I was like, you know what? Like, I already agreed to 24 hours with, you, Andrew, and Josh. And I was like, you know what? What service is open 24 hours, so it'll go in line with this like 24-hour service or run walk? And then I remembered sistering through some like charity work I've done before, and I'd always see women like going in and out of there. So I'm like, clearly there's some like they're doing something where women feel safe going there, and it's clearly like some kind of hub. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, like I'm doing this like 24-hour walk, like what do I need to do to get this started? And I think also it kind of gave me like accountability to actually commit fully to the 24 hours, because it's like, girl, you can't quit. Like, you signed up to do this for charity. Like, you're a bad person technically if you don't finish this. So I had like this moral obligation to do it. So it's like, number one, I raised money for charity. Number two, I set up like an accountability system for myself. So yeah, that's kind of where the whole thing sparked up. It just felt so excessive to run in this cold. And it also begged the question of like, how is anybody surviving this? Like, I wasn't even running the loop. I was just walking in circles, and my face was just done. Like, I was cooked. So yeah, that's kind of how the idea started. But honestly, what was more impressive to me, Andrew, was the fact that you and Josh, when I showed up, you two just started running for like 5 hours straight. I was like, what is wrong with these people? Like, I actually was like concerned. I was concerned.
That is fair, but at the five hour mark, that's when the shiver demon got me, or almost got me. But we used some of that mental strength to get through it, and then yeah, also committed to the 24 hours, and yeah, it was quite the day. It's definitely one to remember.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember I was just walking in circles, and you guys are just lapping me, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, how are you doing this? So like, yeah, I just, from that day, I earned so much respect for you both, because I was like, there's no way. Like, just even thinking about running at the start, I was like, there's no way. How are people doing this? Like, it just blew my mind. So I don't know.
That's still wild. Being out there for 24 hours is crazy. And also, so did you do just like midnight to midnight as well? Or did you do like a different?
Yeah, so it was midnight to midnight. Let me think. Yeah, arrived there, and I was like kind of in a weird like somber like mood. Like, I was just like really quiet because I knew what I was about to do, and I was like, I don't know if you sensed it, Andrew, but I was
You're like, oh God.
just like quiet, just like quiet. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I was kind of freaking out a little bit internally, and then you guys just took off, bolted off, and I was like, I'm gonna walk, guys. You guys run. I'm walking. It's just like walking very slow, very methodically, thinking positively. I was like, don't die, don't die. Like, I knew the hardest part would be midnight to like 5 a.m. And I was just so thankful I made it at that point to like Tim Hortons. And oh my gosh, it was just, I can't believe we did that, honestly.
2 years ago, as you were dipping your toe into running, did you think in 2 years' time that you would be doing a 24-hour endurance challenge of nonstop movement?
Honestly, yes. Honestly, I kind of always wanted to go into ultra running. So I kind of was like, yeah, this sounds about right. Like, I'm about a year and a half. Like, it's about time I started doing some ultra marathoning, and like, I have the base. So it's just really like about the planning. But yeah, I felt like it was time for an ultra because I already did 2 marathons. So I was like, let's do something even crazier. Let's do an ultra.
That's an amazing mindset. And I think that's the mindset we all have on this show here. And yeah, it's just crazy things and amazing accomplishments as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just, the best part of this is knowing there's other people that can just push beyond. Like, at the burrito loop, I was like there's levels to this game. Like that, I love the game, but there's people that love the game even more. Like Josh Blue, like even talking about it, even thinking about it. Number one, he didn't even like just taking this guy wasn't gonna win anything, and he still chose to run like 300 kilometers a week. Like how? Like there's no reward. There's literally what are you gaining from this except for maybe like a like kudos. Like I actually that blew my mind. So yeah, there's levels to this, and I learned a lot, and I'm still blown away by it.
Josh is a 40 chess grandmaster. There's absolutely no one that can keep up with Josh. I know I sure couldn't. So yeah, he left me in the dust. He left the rest, all of us in the dust.
Just to close loop on the sistering fundraiser, can you summarize how much you raised and I guess what was the community impact after all of that?
So pretty much, and this was so impressive. Fundraiser was only open for about 72 hours because I extended it for another extra 24. I think we raised around like $1,500. The goal was 2,400, but you know what? Like just in that time span to raise that much money, it's a serious accomplishment. And I really just want to thank the people that are in my network because that's really who donated. I just posted this on Instagram, didn't really have like a very clean marketing strategy. Like I'm not a fundraiser person like expert. So I just posted this on my Instagram. My network just responded and they reshared it actually, and I was not expecting that. So I really, really want to say if anyone who, donated is watching, huge thank you because what your money has done is you're supporting a place where people need warmth. Like you don't know where these people how these people are feeling, and just stopping somewhere to warm up, it makes such a big difference between someone literally dying or surviving, especially in the cold. And this place is so special in particular because they cater towards women and gender diverse individuals. So women in the city, I think, are a lot more vulnerable than men who are experiencing houselessness. So they really cater towards, helping women who are struggling in the city. And they also just really try to get women back up on their feet through education and even helping them with like housing applications, which I think is so relevant in Toronto with the housing crisis. So yeah, anyone who donated, just know like even $20, it adds up and it makes a huge difference. And I think when you are struggling with finances or looking at your bank account and you know what, I'll put a little portion of it to do something good, I kind of think it makes you think about your money in a different way. So I might be doing more fundraising. So if you want to donate some more, just know like you're working, your work, your paycheck, it has an impact on other people's lives. And I'm really thankful that, you chose to give up a portion of your time, your paycheck to something good because you could have spent it on a coffee or yourself, but you chose to do it for something bigger. So thank you.
I think, and this is like something that Tyler and Brian, other co-hosts who's not here today, but we reflect on of like how lucky and privileged we are to like be able to spend our free time just going out enjoying these endurance sports. So yeah, to think of that, like how can I give back for this amazing thing that I'm able to do?
Mhm.
The cool thing, and yeah, the reach on that I thought was so cool, that decision to do it, and then yeah, seeing all that support was insane because it felt like that goal was reached. It was almost reached, I think, even before you started running, if not very close to it. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I think like just charity and fundraising, it makes you think of the way your actions on a daily basis a lot differently. And I think it's more than just a donation. Like you took an action to help. So I'll be doing more stuff like that. So my network better get ready. No, I'm kidding.
I think we might be ready. Generally, what we like to do, getting close to the end of the pod, is we like to do like kind of a quick, rapid fire, either hot takes or just fun little questions where they're quick answers. So, Tyler, what do you think to kick us off with one of those rapid fire?
I'm in. Yeah, I always love these sections. So yeah, we'll start off with a interesting question, rapid fire, but of course just answer it the way you want. So we think that run clubs are becoming more like the new nightclubs, and we think that's actually a good thing for the sport. So what is your take on this?
Okay, when you say more like the nightclubs, like what do you mean by this? Do you mean like
Like everybody's going out now to the run clubs instead of staying out till 3, 4 a.m., out drinking, partying all night, and feeling like crap the next morning.
honestly, I think it's really positive. I think yeah, if you can connect over running instead of drinking, that's pretty good. That's not that bad. I think I think almost yes and no. I feel like those sauna cold plunge places are actually becoming the new.
I want to ask you a follow up. And there's so many run clubs in Toronto, and I know you're a big run club. You like to go to many different run clubs. But if tomorrow all of the run clubs disappeared and you could only save one, which one are you saving? And it can't be the Seek Discomfort Run Club.
Which one am I saving? If all of them were gone, midnight. No, I'm kidding. Probably Cure Club. That's one of my favorite clubs. Just it's super inclusive, and I've met some incredible people at Cure Club. I would definitely save them. Sorry to the other ones.
So I'm doing another follow up. Would you rather run alone or always at a run club?
Like if I only had one choice or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, I would go to the run clubs. I would choose the run clubs, but I would like be like, oh, I'm tired, and just kind of chill in the back. Like I'd make up an excuse to be alone, and if I really needed it. But if it was life or
True.
death, like I had to choose one, I would choose the group, and then I'd
So
find excuse for alone time.
I find too, if some massive run clubs are going on one night, you could just drift away and be alone anyways, but you're still within the group. So
Exactly.
good decision.
Playing chess, not checker. No, sorry.
I would love to know, and you did a hard workout today, but in a workout, a run workout, you're in like that really tough spot. What is in your ears in that moment? What song, podcast, what are you listening to try to help you through that tough spot?
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I don't run with music. I literally did my session without music, and I just think like I sound so preachy. I sound so preachy in this podcast, but like it helps me, you guys. But okay, I tell myself like, you know what, this session is hard, but like you're creating a memory that you're gonna use later. So let's push right now, because this is gonna be a reference. Like this is a memory, and we're gonna have to reference it later, and we're building proof. And I also just think about like maybe the ocean. Or sometimes I like just go into a run and I'm just pissed off. And I'm like, I hate this person. And like I just walk out of the session even more mad. So sometimes I'm just descending into madness. So I don't know. I just it's a good way to keep tabs on like what's bothering me. A good outlet. I don't know. I just think about like random things.
I totally agree, to be honest. I actually lost my AirPods about a year ago and I don't even care. I just don't run with music. Just have my own thoughts. Sometimes I have a song stuck in my head that I just keep playing on repeat and I try to change it in my head and I can't.
You know what? I do the same thing. And I think one of the songs that I was playing in my head, weirdly 21 Savage. I think I have a lot of anger. And I was just like, it's like, young Savage, why are you trapping? So I was like, yeah. And I'm like, whoa, okay, whoa. What's going on? And then sometimes I think of like house music, like Rufus the Soul. I'm like, okay, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good headspace. When I start thinking about 21 Savage, I'm like, what's happening?
You're just pissed off. Yeah, that's great.
That is a psychopathic behavior. No music, that's crazy. But I do like to hear that at least you're like playing songs in your head sometimes or wandering to different places, because I think it is good to once in a while disconnect and be able to take in your environment. Because I know sometimes even myself, like when I have headphones in, and then if people are trying to talk to me, and then you're like, oh, I need to take out my headphones. I want to be able to have this conversation. So I do think always having the headphones in can sometimes take away from like those little moments on a run, actual human connection, which is like why we're doing it.
Yeah, totally, totally. I feel like just talking during the run too, it just makes it go by so quickly. Like those burrito loops, it just yapped endlessly. It was just amazing. It was great.
Big yap sessions, exactly. That's what it was all for.
Exactly.
I got another one, and we've been asking all our guests this when they come on. I guess you have a crazy goal out there that is almost not attainable. Let's call it a dream goal within the next year, within the next couple years. What is it? And usually, when you say it out in the universe, it's going to happen.
Okay. I guess one of the big goals that I have is qualifying for the Boston Marathon. I really tried doing this last marathon, and yeah, I just completely blew up. but I was 13 minutes away from qualifying. And that was with walking and bonking. So I was like, okay, clearly the method is working. I got the method on lock, and now it's just time to like, you have to prepare well, you have to eat well, don't be too confident. So that's really what I'm aiming for. And that way I can go to Boston and I can have an overachiever vacation. I go to the Boston Marathon and I go to Harvard, and it's going to be great.
That's a nice goal. That's great. I fully approve.
Nice, yeah, love it. I have full confidence, whether it's Toronto or kind of your marathon after that, full confidence that it's coming just looking at one, the speeds you're running, but I think especially the volume you're running, because you're running more volume than me right now, which I mentioned you. I'm like, it's crazy how much you are running, and
Yeah.
your training is super consistent. You rolled right out of Burrito League and you just kept it rolling.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a competition, first of all, but thank you. No, no, honestly, like, I think it's just been so fun to be consistent, to do it, to be like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing? This is crazy. But I have a lot to learn. I think maybe high volume, I don't know, there's different systems. Maybe it's not the most ideal. I've seen one girl who just cross trains like crazy, and she does like 80 kilometers a week or 50 kilometers a week. Her name's Felicia, and she's in the Olympic, she's like qualifying for the Olympics. So I don't know, different systems, different people. Right now I'm just having fun with like seeing how many kilometers I can go. So
Yeah, that's great. I think I'm on the complete opposite spectrum as you. I'm on the low mileage gang, and I just try to run the least amount as possible and try to still survive.
But have the most fun as possible. That's you're
Yeah,
the
that is true.
fun over mileage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm fun over mileage, and my next race, I might have to wear the burrito suit. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, Rebecca, thanks so much for taking the time. This was a really fun one. I think it's like a very unique perspective, and love to hear from people that have not necessarily been running for super long, but are absolutely crushing it. Any shout of where people can like follow you on the fundraising side of your journey as you try to qualify for Bob?
yeah, so if you want to follow my journey like on a day-to-day basis, I would say look at my Strava. That's like my diary. That is like, if you want to keep tabs on me, you can follow my Strava. It's my first and my last name, so it's Rebeca Escobar. I try not to be on Instagram too much, but if you do want to follow me on Instagram, it's underscore RI0506. I try to like post sometimes, but sometimes you have to lock in and just delete the app. So if you really want to keep tabs and see like my thoughts, it's probably going to be on Strava. If I'm pissed, I'll post something there. If I'm happy, I'll post something there. So that's where you can follow, and definitely follow Seek Discomfort Run Club Toronto, or no, it's Seek Discomfort Club. Let me see the handle. Seek.Run Club. Please follow it. I'm gonna try to make some more reels, and you guys are gonna see some cool stuff there. So yeah, thanks.
And yeah, maybe this is another quick fire question, but yeah, Strava is the new Instagram, and no, that's great. Good way to follow you on all those socials, and great chatting with you.
Thank you. You guys as well. Thank you for letting me yap endlessly.
That was Rebeca Escobar. And honestly, what a conversation. Such a fun one. And if you're not inspired to go for a run after that, I don't even know what to tell you.
And for us, if you've enjoyed the pod, you know the drill. Follow the Boys in Motion on Instagram, Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and join us on Strava with our club. And share this episode with somebody. If you've made it this far in the pod, we'll give you a little teaser. Reserve April 4th, Easter weekend. We got big announcement coming up for a BIM event. Stay tuned for registration.
Our weekly disclaimer: we are not medical professionals, coaches, or certified anything. And Rebecca said that you should be delusional, but not too delusional. So if you want to make any real changes or crazy decisions, you should talk to a professional.
I guess so. All right, until next time, seek that discomfort, set your own standard, and keep those legs moving and grooving.